Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. So, Tamil MSM, mainstream media, Tamil, we have been talking about how biased it has been in the past, but some things are changing, perhaps for the better. To know more about this, let us welcome Sri Sriram Seshadri. He's not a stranger. He has been with us before on finance, and this time he's going to share his views on changes that are happening in the Tamil media, especially in the broadcast media. Some significant things have happened. And let's first welcome Sriramji, and then I'll give you the context in a bit. Namaskaram, sir.
Namas-
How are you?
Namaskaram, sir. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. And at the outset, thank you so much for coming on our P Guru's Tamil channel. And that's a growing channel. And we can do with every bit of help from you.
Sure.
Sriramji, today I'm going to talk to you about a bit of a story here. In a hangout with Kishor Swamy, Kishor K. Swamy, he mentioned that when he was in jail, that he was force-fed meat, and he was complaining that, look, I'm a vegetarian, I don't eat meat. The person who was giving him the food said, look, Karthik Selva wanted us to give you the meat. He insisted that we feed you meat. So this Karthik Selva was, I think, in Pudiya Talamurai. Please set me straight if
Yep.
I'm wrong. And looks like this fellow now finds himself out of a job. And more importantly, I'm hearing some interesting things that are coming out of Pollachi today. Let's hear from you. You've been a participant, a panelist in various channels and Tamil channels. So perhaps you can share us the ground situation, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me to the show. Yes, I too heard what Kishore K. Swamy said, and he also tweeted about this incident a few weeks back. About him being fed with meat, which is definitely condemnable. And with respect to 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙦, is popularly known as 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙦 in his Twitter handle. Last I heard is that last Friday was his last show that he anchored, and I heard was that he had been asked to move. While a lot of stories are coming out saying that he is being transferred to Pudiya Talamurai Digital, and hence probably he is leaving because of that, or he is going abroad for some fellowship. That is why he is moving out. But in reality, what I hear in the news circle is that he has been asked to move out because of maybe various pressure from various quarters for the position that he had taken. Another interesting perspective to look at is the IJK party, where the owner of this Pudiya Talamurai channel, Parivendan, is having his own party, which is currently in the DMK alliance, and then he was with NDA in the past, looking to come back to NDA in 2024 election. And probably, this is one of the goodwill factor that he is trying to do to show that, he is interested to join NDA, and could be the goodwill factor. I think that is what, probably would have triggered this movement. And and that is where I hear that 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙦 has been asked to leave Pudiya Talamurai, or his role is undermined to take over as Pudiya Talamurai Digital doesn't have anything big. It's just the Twitter and a few and online newspaper, which whatever happens in the Pudiya Talamurai TV channel as such, it is then converted into a digital content and then put up there. And then he had been asked to take over that role, and which definitely would have humiliated and insulted 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙦, and then he would be moving. I hear the rumors that he might be joining Kalaignar TV as principal editor, or some good position. But similar thing happened a year back, if one may look back, when Guna from News 18 was asked to leave because of his narratives that he was setting in the Tamil media. And even Senthil, who also left News 18 and then runs his own YouTube channel, and appears in one of the Tamil channels called Malai Murasu, as a visiting, or anchor. But otherwise, I think there is some sort of a transformation started to happen in the last 1 month or so, where Tamil news channels are once they are highly biased towards DMK, and slowly they have been trying to mend their ways to be neutral. And today, if you see even Annamalai's meeting in Pollachi, which is a grand success, probably lakhs of people have gathered. Two channels are showing live, which has never ever happened. Probably Prime Minister's visit are shown live, but Annamalai's visit or meeting, which is happening in one remote corner of a state, has never been telecast live other than in Dinamalar or in Chanakya, Pandey's Chanakya. Especially few clippings would come, and then not the entire crowd would be shown. But today, Tanti TV and News 7 has been showing it live. I think that is a change that I have seen, that importance given to a national party. And I think slowly they are moving away from allegiance to DMK and trying to become neutral, and then real newscast rather than motivated stories. I think that is where the change is happening, Sri, if I may say so.
Thank you, sir. And just to get back to the News 18 story, Sriramji, I heard that 18 people were let go, and I know the person who initiated it, but that
Yeah.
I will not reveal here. You all know. If I say I know, then our viewers know who was the one who initiated
Right, right,
it. And the regrettable thing is the same News 18 hasn't changed its ways. For
yeah,
instance, they misreported the Karthik Gopinath incident
yeah,
recently. And what I was trying to allude to, Sriramji, is see, you have the editorial team that is actually putting together the content. The
right.
person who's getting fired is just the face of that channel. See, the team needs to be changed. I mean, the team needs to have a mindset that there is news outside of the DMK hyperbole that they dish out.
That
Right?
is true. That definitely is true, because if you look at Pudhiya Thalamarai, Karthikeya was the editorial team. It's just not the face of the channel which was telecasting the debates or other news. He was also the editorial, chief of the editor in that particular channel. That is where he is getting asked to be moved out. And Guna, who was part of News 18, he was part of the editorial team or even heading the editorial team, and he was asked to move. But nevertheless, the subsequent person who took over has not mended the ways. I think eventually, I think this move, especially if you look at, there are three very known popular jambawans of Tamil media debates, if one may say so. Rangaraj Pandey, Karthikeya Chelva, and Guna. And Guna had been asked to leave. He joined Sun News. And Rangaraj Pandey, of course, he leaves on his own accord and then starts his own channel. And Karthikeya Chelva has been asked to leave. Then the younger generation definitely would be rattled, because for them, when they come out, they don't have a major future. No other channel would absorb them, or they cannot just like that open up a YouTube channel and then flourish or get the same amount of income. I think they will be, probably they will look at it and then start mending their ways to be neutral. I'm not saying that a journalist having his own or her own point of view towards ideological alliances, but when it comes to sitting on the debate and then showcasing the news, and that is where people expect the news to come as news and not as motivated opinions on top of the news, and then or not showing or blacking out some of the events. Say, for example, when Annamalai visited Sri Lanka, none of the Tamil news channels even showcased or telecast news about it. So that is blacking out some event which is a significant importance and historic event. I think that is the change that I'm looking at in the last couple of weeks. There is some amount of change that is happening, and I think it will continue. And I don't know whether it is a ministerial intervention that has happened or not. I'm not going to guesswork anywhere, but definitely there would have been some amount of monitoring that is happening from the INB ministry as to whether the facts are being given, or it is a misleading facts are given, and on based on that there could be some pressure coming onto the channel. But with respect to Pudhiya Thalamarai, I think this is probably a political move as well. In my opinion, if IJK wants to align with NDA in 2024, and definitely there would be some goodwill factor expected. I don't know whether that would have been explicitly expressed by the party BJP, but I think he might want to, on his own accord, want to prove that he is a trusted ally. Because last time when IJK was with the NDA, even then that time this channel was more affiliated towards the DMK party and then not for the cause of the NDA. But this time probably that would have been a irking factor, and then the IJK leadership may want to show that they are serious about this, and that is why these actions are being taken. We need to wait and watch who is going to take over. Currently, someone who has stepped in is also coming in the same die of Karthik Gopinath with a leftist mindset. But that is that we hear it as a temporary backfill. But eventually, whoever is going to take over this editorial role, that is going to define what is their real policy going to be towards the news broadcast that Pudhiya Thalamari is going to do.
And viewer, just for your information, if you don't happen to be living in Tamil Nadu has perhaps the highest per capita TV channels. I'm told that even at district level, they have some channels which they just broadcast to a particular district. And there is a lot of clever manipulation that happens. I'll give you a simple thing. If you want to start a new TV channel, you will be given the channel number like some obscure 346 or something like that. And the first 10 will be all DMK related. Sun News, Sun TV, Sun Music, Sun this, Sun that, Kalaignar, this, that. I mean, by the time, and most of the people, the remotes don't work very well. So the up and down key is all your friend. And then imagine clicking up key 345 times to get to your channel. People don't get there. So these are all some of the challenges that our TV viewers are facing in Tamil Nadu. But I'm also seeing one good thing, Sriramji. The newer TVs are coming equipped with internet connection, and many people now have broadband. And people have, my mom, she is, high school, and she is now completely surfing only YouTube. Mm-hmm. She watches the channels, but most of the time she's looking at YouTube because she knows I like this person, I like this person, I like this person, and she's able to type that, and it's very easy. So this transition also is happening. I mean, that perhaps explains the kind of crowds that Annamalai is starting to gather now, which is just truly impressive. Pollachi is not a place that you would expect so many people to turn up. And I'm hearing that the police, because they were afraid of crowd control, were turning away people who wanted to come and listen to what Annamalai had to say.
Yeah.
Overall, this is just the beginning, in my opinion, Sriramji. There's a much bigger bandicoot in the room, or a 800-pound gorilla in the room. That is Kerala TV channels. My God, if you think Tamil Nadu is bad, I don't know where to. It's so one-sided there. So that is the next big thing. Let's see how things play out, because there's a much bigger danger for India as a country. But Sriramji, in conclusion, how do you see the politics of Tamil Nadu changing? Because once the TV starts taking cognizance of the other parties, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that will be a leveler? How do you foresee the politics in the next couple of years, and perhaps in the next 5 years? And then we can call this a wrap.
Sure. I think when you talked about, the channel number being allocated and all, remember one more thing. The most of this channel distribution is also with the DMK.
Yes,
that is Sumangali network is what is going to, is the major stakeholder in, or even Arasu Cable, which is a major stakeholder in broadcasting these channels. They are the stakeholders, so they decide who should watch what content. I think that is where, the things are being changed. Coming to your question about Annamalai and how the politics is going to change, I think Annamalai had, in the last 11 months, had taken a positive approach to politicking, rather than just being an aggressive, pointing at fingers and things like that. He has also encouraged a lot of people to follow him, especially the youngsters. The vacuum being created by the fight within ADMK, the dual leadership fight, which probably is going to get resolved in the weeks to come. Most probably EPS would have a single leadership, emerge as a single leadership, because especially his challenge was removed when Sasikala lost the case with the Madras High Court. Sasikala's removal, she filed a case in Madras High Court, and then the decision of the ADMK General Council was upheld, and now that gives a more room to play by EPS to control the party fully, and where OPS O Pannirselvam will go is a $1 million question, because he is trying to create some vibes about bringing Shashikala back and all those. But I think eventually ADMK will go towards a single leadership position before Ms. Jayalalitha's demise. Even then, in the last 11 months, I think ADMK has given the space on a platter to BJP, in my opinion, which Annamalai grabbed it with two arms. And he has tried to establish himself as, and imagine last 1 year, if you look at it, wherever there is a people problem, and then Annamalai has raised voice, and then Tamil Nadu government has changed their course, be it Diwali sweet, be it opening the temples as against opening up of Tasmak, and be it in Thiruvayaru changing the name of the street, Anur village being converted, agricultural land being converted to industrial area. Every issue that, and BGR energy issue, we all know about it in a big way. Every issue that Annamalai picked up, I think the government took the reverse gear, went on a reverse gear. And when Tiruvarur, the meeting happened, I think that was the first meeting to kickstart. Everybody, even the Dravidian parties and media, everybody showed the crowd from the last, and then said there was no major crowd. Today, I think they probably feel the pinch, and then probably they are feeling that the BJP has grown larger than they expected. I think that is the reality that is setting in. And 2024 and 2026, two consecutive elections that is going to come in 2 years' time, is going to be very electrifying. No doubt BJP probably on its own, if they conduct this crowd, will it get converted into votes? But at least crossing the first 10% is going to be the milestone. Once the 10% vote share is being breached, then automatically people sitting on the fence is going to jump into the party that is going to have a momentum and traction. I think that they breached in the local body elections, almost came near 10% on the number of seats they conducted, about 9% of vote share they got in the number of seats they conducted. And that is when people who are sitting on the fence, and many of them who for want of options supported Jayalalitha or ADMK, are now seeing that are the nationalists who want of other options, because BJP didn't have a charismatic leader in those days, nor any other party. Vijayakant came up in 2011 as an alternate, but immediately he just went down the track. So those who have been waiting for an alternate option other than two Dravidian parties, now look at BJP as a national party taking a surge in Tamil Nadu. I think principally the leadership of Annamalai, and then his charismatic oratory skills, his ability to articulate, his ability to attract the young crowd is what proving to be more popular. I think this is going to be a very interesting time in the next 2 years when it run up to the Lok Sabha election. I think this is going to be a very interesting one. Maybe they will be in alliance with ADMK. It is too early to predict how the equations are going to turn about. But still, BJP has become a force to reckon in Tamil Nadu, which never happened in the last 40 years. I think that is a reality, if I may say so.
Wonderful, sir. And viewers, I see some interesting things ahead of me. Whether it's going to be turned out to be true or not, only time will tell. See, many of these channels are not making money. These channels are being propped up by political parties or individuals. Even Vijayakant has his own channel called Captain TV. I mean, I'm just giving examples here. Now, most of the things are propped up because of illegal funding, because this has all been done along the same template as NDTV. This is my opinion. Now, the government has two choices. One is that they take the oxygen from underneath some of these politicians using ED, or they actually go and start shutting down some of these channels because they are doing anti-national stuff. Anyone, I mean, if they open the thing to say, look, can you tell us how many places where these people have been anti-national, data will pour in by the hundreds and millions. YouTube itself has so much data about these people. So either way, I think that there's going to be a shrinkage of channels. It is high time we need that. There's some rules have to be followed. I hope this happens. It can be Tamil Nadu is the first one. and then there are other Kerala also has the same problem, Karnataka, Andhra. So all the southern states have this problem. Every party has its own channel, the mouthpiece, and news has completely become the casualty. I'm hoping that in one state they clean it up, because L. Murugan is, after all, from Tamil Nadu. He probably has a fairly good idea of what's happening. Let's hope that happens, because right now I definitely don't have the strength. Every time the TV turns on, it resets to channel 1, right? up. I can't do that. So thank you very much, Sriramji. And viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notification. If you think that you got good data from this Hangout, consider donating to our cause using the super thanks button. Namaskar. Namaskaram, sir.
Thank you. Namaskar.